Did you know when you enroll in Medicare Part B, it comes with a monthly premium of $174.70? Hi, I'm Larry Goist, owner of LMS Insurance Group, where we help seniors navigate the Medicare maze. So in today's short video, I'm telling you guys about 2 ways where you can avoid paying the Part B Medicare premium. And I'm going to go over 3 real basic topics. So number 1, I'm going to tell you about Part B rebate plans. Number 2, I'm going to tell you about the Medicare Savings Program. And then thirdly, I'm going to tell you a couple pros and cons of each of these situations. And that's all coming up next. Hey, before I dive in, don't forget to like our channel. Definitely subscribe if you find this kind of content helpful. I really appreciate you doing that. Okay, so what is a Part B rebate plan? Well, a Part B rebate plan, it is a type of a Medicare Advantage plan. So Medicare Advantage is also referred to as Part C. And this Part B rebate plan is just a certain type of Advantage plan. These are going to be different depending on where you live, and it's only going to be available in certain zip codes in certain states. But if you have a company in your zip code that offers a Part B rebate plan, they are going to pay a portion of or all of your Medicare Part B premium by you enrolling into their company's Part C Advantage plan. So these are private health insurance organizations, and these are the types of plans that are like HMOs and PPOs, and by you enrolling with a particular company that offers that plan, you are going to see a reduction in the Part B premium that's being billed to you by the government. So if you're on Social Security, these companies will actually just put that money back in your check, like you'll have less of a reduction. And if you're not on Social Security, you are being billed quarterly for Medicare. So in that situation, your quarterly bill would be reduced that you receive from CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. So if you have a Part C Advantage plan that offers a Part B rebate in your area, you can enroll in that plan, and that company would become your primary payer on Medicare, and in turn, they're assisting you to pay your Part B Medicare premiums. Okay, so that's the first way where you can have a reduced or no Part B premium. So now let's talk about the second way. The second way is if you qualify for the Medicare Savings Program. So the Medicare Savings Program is Medicaid for people on Medicare. Now, there's different levels inside the Medicare Savings Program. I'm not going to get into the specific levels because if you qualify for any level of the MSP, your state is going to pay your Part B Medicare premium for you. So I have different videos that break down these different levels of assistance that are inside the Medicare Savings Program. I'll link those in the description below. But the general requirements to qualify for the Medicare Savings Program is you have to be limited in monthly income and you have to be limited in resources. Okay, so what are the income requirements to qualify for any level of the Medicare Savings Program? Well, if you are single, you could make up to $1,714 a month and you can qualify for the Medicare Savings Program. But you also have to be limited in resources. So resources are like stocks, bonds, IRAs, if you own more than one vehicle, really anything that you can get your hands on, any kind of investment, any sort of retirement account from an employer. So your resources have to be limited to $9,430. So if you have less than $9,430 in resources and you make less than $1,714 a month, you will qualify for the Medicare Savings Program. So you apply through your county Medicaid office, And once you are approved, your state now comes in and pays your Part B Medicare premium for you. Now, if you're married, you can make up to $2,320 a month. And they're looking at you and your spouse's income. And it's important to note that's all income. They want to know your Social Security amount. They want to know pensions. They want to know anything you're drawing on in retirement. So your total monthly income, if you're married, has to be less than $2,320. And then if you're married, there's also a resource limit. So your resources would have to be under $14,130 if you're married. So if you had less than $14,130 in resources and you made less than $2,320 a month and you were married, you would qualify for the Medicare Savings Program. Now, a side note, if anybody gets the Medicare Savings Program, your state comes in and it pays your Part B premium, but it also opens the door for what's called a dual plan or a special needs plan. Now you would become eligible for certain types of Medicare Advantage plans that have enhanced, upgraded benefits. So that's just like a little bonus that would be attached on top of you getting your Part B premium paid by your state. Okay, so what are the pros and the cons of each of these situations? Well, let's talk about the Part B rebate plans first. So your pros, the things that would help you on the Part B rebate plan, well, the first is obvious. You're getting a reduced cost on your Part B premium. Now, some other advantages would be, most of these Advantage plans that have Part B rebates, usually, your primary care doctor you get for a zero copay. So when you go to your doctor, you're not going to have to come out of pocket to see them. Now, some other benefits would be if you enroll in one of these Part B rebate Advantage plans, it's likely that you're going to get extra benefits like dental, vision, but every plan is different, so it depends on what's offered in your area and which specific plan you're talking about. Okay, now what would be the drawbacks of enrolling in a Part B rebate plan? Well, like any Medicare Advantage plan, you are going to be in that insurance company's network of doctors and hospitals. So you're going to have to receive care from in-network provided if you want the lowest possible costs. I would say a second con would be when you're enrolled in any Medicare Advantage plan, you're going to have to get prior authorizations for certain services. So you might have to get approvals from the insurance company to do certain tests and certain non-life-threatening procedures. And what about the Medicare Savings Program? Well, the pros, the good parts of the Medicare Savings Program is that it is going to subsidize, it's going to pay for your Part B Medicare premium. You're going to have an extra $174 every month because your state is paying the premium for you. Now, depending on where your income falls in at, you also might qualify as part of the Medicare Savings Program for your state to pay your co-pays and your medical co-insurance. So there's different levels inside of this where you're not having to come out of pocket for anything at all because the state is picking up co-pays, co-insurance, and premiums. Now, another benefit is it's free to apply. So if you're close, if you're on the cusp, it can't hurt to apply through your local Medicaid office. The worst that can happen is they turn you down and they say you don't qualify. Okay, so what about some drawbacks to the Medicare Savings Program? Well, the first is that you do have to be limited in resources. So, they count resources. You're allowed to have one home and one vehicle. But if you wanted to purchase an additional vehicle or a motorhome or a boat, that's counted as a resource. So that in itself could disqualify you from getting this type of assistance. And maybe you thought down the road you were going to get an inheritance. When your parents had passed on, you might be getting their house, their car, money they had in the bank. And if you go over that resource limit by getting an inheritance, you would lose the assistance you were getting through the Medicare Savings Program. I think another con that my clients tell me is that the government is going to have all your business. To get approved for a Medicare savings program, you have to submit documents to your local Medicaid office, like your bank accounts, your pay stubs, your savings accounts, titles to your vehicles. You have to prove that you qualify income-wise monthly and also resource-wise. So you're going to have to give the government all this sensitive information that some people just don't feel comfortable providing. And then I think the other drawback is that if you are approved for the Medicare Savings Program, you have to recomplete this paperwork every year. Every year, your local Medicaid agency is going to reach out, and you're going to have to resupply your bank accounts, stocks, bonds, IRAs, any resources, and you're going to have to do your income verification. So guys, those are two tips of how you could get out of paying for your Part B premium. And if you think either one of those programs interests you or you might qualify, certainly use the information and the details below, as me or somebody in my office would love to explore your options with you, and there's never a fee for our services. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Larry Goist, LMS Insurance Group.